Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to our Departures Lounge travel show this week. This week we have a great, interesting series that we're excited to share with you. And it is all wonderful and good things in the world of travel, talking about 2021 and beyond. And my name is Kathy Scott. I'm the co-owner of Sydney Departures Travel and the owner of the Departures Travel in Oak Bay. And along with me today is Kathy Larson, who is my business partner in Sydney Sydney Departures Travel. And we have Madan Pallon from Oak Bay Beach Hotel in beautiful Victoria, BC. We've got Graham Franklin, who is with us from Sunwing Travel. And I think, Graham, you are Toronto, aren't you? Or you're in Vancouver?
I'm in Vancouver.
Okay, Vancouver. David Harris is at his beautiful lakefront cottage in Toronto, and he's with the Ensemble Travel Group. Kathy Denroche is calling in from Vancouver as well, and she's with Oceania Cruises. And we've got Brad Ford with Insight Vacations and Luxury Gold. And Brad, I believe you're calling in from Toronto as well.
From my home office in Toronto.
Very nice. Yes, I guess we're all pretty much in home offices. I'm actually calling in from beautiful Tofino, up here checking it out on one of the soft openings here, and it's spectacular. So today we've got a 3-hour virtual show, and so we're hoping that you'll stay with us for the full 3 hours, but if not, we'll have you for however long that you're on with us. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a lovely 30-minute panel discussion here with these top industry travel executives, and then we have a bunch of wonderful 30-minute slideshows to share with everybody after. So I'm going to turn it over to my business partner, Kathy Larson.
Welcome, everyone. We had so many people asking questions about the industry as a whole and different sectors as well. So we decided that we really needed to have a group of people come together from different sectors and let us know what's happening. So Kathy D, I'm going to pick on you first.
Okay.
What is happening in cruising? How is cruising going to look different?
Well, that's a loaded question, Kath. I could take the full 30 minutes in answering that. So thank you for asking me first. But I'll try and just condense it. Interestingly enough, I was just saying to the group that, after being around in this industry for many, many years, like over 40 years, you've seen all these crises come. And one of the great things about the travel business is it's the second largest industry in the entire world. The world can't actually survive without travel. And I love that side of it is because, while we've got some of guests that are probably on the line now going, I'm not sure about travel, where is it going to go from here? The pendulum will always swing, and it will be one of the industries that swings very quickly, gently, but quickly as we come back. There's a lot of pent-up demand for travel, and it's such an encouraging sign to see everything. But every single one of us on this call and who you're going to hear later today, we're all working really, really, I think, diligently and doing our real homework to be better now than when we started, even than where we left off 3 months ago. We're working closely with the Center of Disease and Control, and every day things are changing, and where I think we've been very safe and very great as far as traveling goes so far. I think all of us now are going to put things into place that, just like 9/11, we never had security lines. We could go up on the bridge of a ship and watch with the captain we came into a port, we could go and, up to the cockpit of the plane and ask the pilot if we could sit and why they landed. We used to be able to do that stuff. And when 9/11 happened, all of a sudden we couldn't do that. But things changed, and it was for the better. Now this is going to change again, and all the health and safety protocols that we're all putting into place are going to be better than they even were before. So it's a really good news story.
Mm-hmm. And Brad, as far as coach and touring goes, how is that going to be handled?
Well, I think this will really be an opportunity for those coach operators, or those escorted journey operators, as we call them, to really show their worth. We've had a long and storied history of providing life-changing journeys all over the world, but it's in how we do it, right? And just as Kathy has just said, with the team of people that are looking at all the details behind, how do we physically distance, all the on-road protocols that you need for all the scenarios that you're going to face, air filtration in the coaches themselves, hygiene kits for everyone who's traveling. I think for us, it's really an opportunity to do what we do best, and that's to operate trips that people remember as being seamless and magical, but now with a whole layer of some very real concerns about well-being.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Kathy Scott probably agrees with me that during this whole thing, what we've seen with our suppliers is that really the great ones have really risen to the top. And it really, in a situation like this, you really see who you want to work with in going forward. So Graham, you were saying that you've seen such a collaboration within your industry, within the air and all-inclusive industry.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're lucky at the Sunwing Travel Group is that we're a vertically integrated company and we own the airline. We own the tour operator. We can control the in-destination experience. Once you get to the airport, you're transferred to the hotel. And then many of the hotels that we're either direct ownership over or we are tied very closely to preferred relationships, we can handle that customer in a fashion all along that road. And I think one of the things that we're doing at Sunwing is we're introducing a Safe with Sunwing protocol. But this is no different than working collaboratively with the industry and lobbying government and ensuring that our voices are heard. I think Kathy made an excellent point that after 9/11, things were different. But I think we can all here on this committee today say that it's very easy today to get through an airport. Now, today we may face new challenges in the weeks and months ahead, but those too will seem very small in years to come because first and foremost, we're constantly evolving and we're looking after the safety in the best interest of the customer. And safety is never compromised on the airline side of the business. It's first and foremost. We don't compete on safety, we compete on price. We compete on destinations and other products, but we never compete on safety. And that's first and foremost.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great point.
Yeah. And Madon, did I pronounce it right?
Yes, Madon.
Okay. As far as hotels go, what are you, how are you doing the protocols that you're having to follow? Not so much the in-depth ones, but in general.
Well, from a hotel perspective, we work really closely with the different hotel associations. And so we have our set of protocols and guidelines that, we've always had to adhere to. Obviously, there are some new changes and things will look a little different when you come and stay at a hotel. But we're also seeing this as a wonderful opportunity to, take this time, reevaluate what we do and how we can adapt and do it better. So we were joking, how can we add more special touches in a touchless way? Because that's been the motto, is removing touch points. And so what you'll see when you arrive at a hotel is a lot more space. Things will feel airier. You will see more of the cleanliness protocols taking place in front of you, where they used to be hidden back of house more often. So there is an emphasis on almost the display of the work that's being done to ensure and build that confidence. We see this as an opportunity to take, especially luxury travel and luxury experiences to the next level of customization. When you come to your guest room, we've removed many of those touch points for cleanliness reasons and the guidelines that we have to adhere to, which means we have an opportunity to customize your room prior to arrival for the things that you need. So we are focusing more on making those pre-arrival calls, identifying what the needs are, being able to customize your stay so that you have what you need and what's necessary for your stay and not what you don't need. And that opens up the dialogue and it creates that relationship with the consumer that we always wanted to have, but now we're able to focus on a little bit more. And we also have the luxury right now, things are ramping back up. We're definitely seeing pent up demand of people that really, really, really just need to get out of their home. And so we're happy to accommodate. But obviously, these are early days, and our occupancies won't be what we're used to seeing in the summer. So it's a wonderful time to take advantage of having that extra space. It really is reduced capacities, open spaces, fewer faces, and focusing in on having a lot more available to you. So
Perfect. And I would assume, as we've gotten used to doing Zoom calls left, right, and center, that checking into hotels is going to look a lot different, where people are going to have to get more accustomed to maybe a check-in app, or having a room service menu on an app or something like that.
yes, so I know so we are a boutique independent property, and we have to approach things a little bit more creatively than some of the larger brands that have resources that come from their global operations headquarters. So for us, it comes back to a little bit more of the personalized pre-arrival touches. We have a curbside check-in that's contactless, obviously contactless checkout, and we've put everything up onto our in-room television displays, and everything is available through our website. So it makes it very easy. You don't have to download a new app or learn new technology. We've been able to streamline things so that we can keep it all in one area that's user-friendly.
Fabulous. I think that's great. David, poor David. He's have you had any days off?
Well, I think it's Thursday, which means there's only 7 days left this week, which is that's good news.
He's our Bonnie Henry for Ensemble Travel. So that's a big pot to ask for you, David, of what changes have you been dealing with on the government level, on the high end level of dealing with things. So you're seeing way too many changes.
First of all, Kathy, thank you for having all of us on this call. It's a great concept, and I'm sure that consumers and anyone else who's dialing into this, is there such a thing as dialing anymore? Who's zooming into this will benefit from participating. And but congratulations to both of you for doing this. Ensemble being basically the conduit here between all of these brands, these suppliers representing different verticals in our industry. We're just the conduit. But in terms of what we're seeing or what's happening, there are a lot of things happening, and everyone on this call has referenced different elements that are being beneficial for consumers. I think from our perspective at Ensemble, one of the things that we're trying to be more of a conduit for is getting this information to the consumers. So we provide our member agencies with various tools and programs, marketing, as do our supplier, as do the supplier partners on this call also. But we're trying to be more aggressive in getting the mass market aware of what's going on right now. So by example, there were a lot of misperceptions created, and I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, but inevitably I do. The governments back in early March managed to tell the world that cruise ships were unsanitary, and then that of course put a massive halt and stop for the world on travel. I mean, the cruise industry has become the scapegoat for an entire industry right now, which is so unfair. And then weeks later, we've got governments that are engaging cruise ships to become hospitals for patients of COVID or even, just other patients. So there are things that have to be done to level set the industry and to put the consumers' minds at rest that all the things that are being done by our industry right now are being done in the best interest of the consumer. So whether it's misperceptions, whether it's addressing what the future of post-COVID travel will look like, as Kathy and Madan and Graham and Brad have all mentioned so far, these are the things that as an industry we need to do a better job at. And that's one of the things that I'm very engaged with on the association levels, and both domestically in the US and globally as well, with different organizations that we're participating in. So
Dave, I'd love to just interject for 1 second, because I think what you said is so true. We are responsible thinkers in the industry, But I just want to challenge all of you guests out there to also, react when you read something with a lot of logic and responsible thinking as well, because, what you were talking about was, very interesting about the cruise lines. And I can tell you personally that the cruise lines have been attacked most everything, but that's because they're easy to track. There's only 3 entities that ever need to report a virus. One of them is hospital, one of them is care center, and the other is ships. And ships have been reporting illnesses for over 40 years. So when you look at even the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, you look at everything out there, ships are very, very safe. When you think about, there were probably about 3,000 people truly that were affected with COVID, sadly, on a mix of maybe 10 or 11 cruise lines. But when you look at 3,000 people and you think that that isn't even one of the premium line ship sizes, over hundreds and hundreds of ships out there, cruising is incredibly safe. So are hotels. And Madon, what I loved about what you were saying was, from behind the scenes, we've always been, from hotels to airlines to, Insight, the whole side of coach travel and everything. If we've all been very safe before, we've been, I guess, exposed to so many flu bugs and everything that we've already had. Now, when you come now with all the things we're doing as an industry, it's always been behind the scenes. But now when you really look at where we're going as an industry, where we're going as guests, where we're kind of jumping back into travel, you are going to be safer than you've ever been in your life when you get on any product that you have, because everybody is now forced to actually be very forthcoming with that. But I can assure you, and I loved what you said, Dave, with that, is that here we were as a cruise lines that got attacked, but then all of a sudden they were turning around saying, could we use your hotels? The CDC just put out a report saying, that ships are so relatively small and getting any illnesses. But I guess my point being is we have to be responsible thinkers as well as responsible reporters, like you were saying. And the industry is fighting hard to, show the world that we're up and running and we're wanting to really be great at what we do and even better than we did before. But I think as consumers, when I hear the news these days, I just have to go further than what I've just heard, because we get the sensationalization of everything. We don't actually hear the full story, so it's something I think we have to be really cognizant of.
Yeah, well said. And just Kathy segued into that. What is everybody seeing for the end of 2020 and for 2021? Madon was saying that, obviously everybody that's canceled from this year, and that's probably across the board, has moved their bookings to 2021. And then, new people trying to book for 2021, it will be very, very busy. What does it look like for the hotel?
Yes. And so, we are a smaller boutique hotel with only 100 rooms and some function space, but we are very popular with weddings, especially through the summer. And 2020 was a year for weddings. A lot of people earmarked this summer to be married. And so we've been very busy in accommodating a change of date for mostly next summer. And so what we're seeing are some of our events, we've had incentive groups, we've had different retreats and things, and we've been very accommodating rather than canceling, allowing them to change dates and working within penalties and things like that, so that no one is feeling the pinch during this time. But what we're seeing is now 2021 is filling up to beyond what we've seen in previous years. So going into 2021, we know it will be a very busy year with these retreats, with all of this rebooked business, with the weddings. We are starting to push out into further years, booking weddings that can't fit into 2021, into 2022 and beyond. And so for a smaller hotel like ours, we don't usually see bookings too far beyond a year, and we have bookings well into 2023, which is very unusual. I know that our convention center hotels are the same thing. Their citywide bookings are booking much further out because they're seeing compression. But, I think with that compression for the weddings and the meetings, we are definitely seeing the leisure market of people wanting to travel. That pent-up demand.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so we feel going into next year, it will be a busy one. We have between now and then to ramp up, ease into it, and really fine tune everything that we're doing in preparation for welcoming back those international visitors, which we can't wait to see again.
Perfect. And for anybody in Victoria, we can do a staycation at the Oak Bay Beach Hotel.
Yes,
doesn't sound like a bad thing. Graham,
Yeah,
how's
I'd like to jump in.
2021 looking? Yeah.
I was going to say, I'd like to jump in and just comment on a couple of things that Madonna had said too as well, which we would echo at the Sunwing Travel Group. We are seeing a pent-up demand for those groups that were inconvenienced this past winter. But even before that, 2020, 2021, and into 2022, we're already booking up well in advance. And a lot of groups, this is, it seems to be the year of the comeback for the wedding groups. We're seeing a ton of brides want to get married in destination. A lot of the recent statistical reports that are coming out are showing that the millennials are that target group that doesn't really have the fear of traveling post COVID. And we're seeing that in terms of numbers, in terms of growth. So I would say groups is the fastest growing piece of our business coming back out of this. Certainly last minute has decreased dramatically, I think, for everybody here. But further in advance, look, everyday life is starting to return to normal, whether you're going for a haircut or you're going to the dentist, and you do it with precautions. And for the most part, washing your hands is one of the main differences. Physical distancing, one of the main differences. And whether you're a hotel or you're a airline or a transportation company, you're going to maintain those principles. And for the most part, people are going to be better protected. So I see that Mexico and the Caribbean are going to come back and they're going to flourish very, very quickly. Not to discredit some of the other people that are on the call, because I think everybody's going to come back very strong. And I certainly see another segment where my boss, Dina Murphy, was talking on a call earlier in the day, and I would tend to agree with her, is that a lot of people have been trapped in their houses for a long period of time with their families. And certainly adult-only vacations away from the kids is probably going to be a growing segment. Certainly at my house, it might be.
Yeah, good point. And Brad, I guess I'm looking forward to maybe doing more of Canada this summer and in the fall, like back east where we Westerners don't go very often. Are you seeing that trend?
Yeah, we certainly have. We have, to echo everyone else's sentiment, there are a lot of pent-up demand, and we're certainly seeing a lot of demand to see your own backyard. So we call those our local journeys. Not only do we have journeys across Insight Vacations and Luxury Gold for 12 to 14 days, we also are introducing our smaller group journeys as well as our shorter duration journeys, East and West Coast, and certainly encouraging signs across Canada as the provinces relax their protocols for travel within province. And we're certainly seeing the same across the world. Europe right now being probably the most organized, I would say, in their post-COVID return. Phase 2 and phase 3 across the countries, limited PPE in many cases. So it's really interesting to be able to have a team of 10,000 Travel Corporation staff around the world monitoring this 24/7 and being able to take a look at exactly which destination is ready and looking forward to seeing us travel.
Mm-hmm. So excited. David, any closing remarks?
I think that there is, I think what's important is that from your perspectives, Kathy and also for all of the consumers that are on this call, there's never been a more important time, nor has there been greater value in the advice and the advisory capabilities of those in the travel industry. I don't mean just those on this call, I mean the advisors themselves. Of course, we're biased on the call, but in terms of the value, in terms of helping consumers sift through the myriad of information, of changes, of terms and conditions, there's never been a more important time. I don't think anyone would want or should be interested in self-booking. And yes, that may be a slight to online travel agencies, but the cost of dealing with an agency, I can tell you with certainty that it's far more costly to not deal with an agency at a time like this. And I think that that may be the silver lining for our industry, or one of the silver linings for our industry. But don't give up. And to the consumers on the call, please, the efforts that are taken on your behalf are, I don't think many people fully comprehend just how much is done to embetter the relationship and to ensure that you're getting the greatest value out of the travel interests that you've expressed with them. That's it.
That sage advice. Get it.
Well, thank you for
Use
that
travel agent.
unprompted. Yeah, thank you for that unprompted little plug there, David. Much appreciated. But it's so true, through this whole process, Kathy and I. Well, Kathy is an active travel advisor, and we've watched not only Kathy but all of our team in both stores just working so diligently behind the scenes for their clients, for our mutual clients. And I mean, hats off to them. I can't thank them enough. And I'm amazed every day at the amount of work that it takes that they go through on the client's behalf, and they have no idea. So thank you for that. That's much appreciated. So we're going to be closing up in the next couple of minutes, but does anyone have anything profound and wonderful they'd like to add before we close off to the next presenter?
Well, I'd like to just say that, we all work very closely together as an industry, and we all have been around a very long time in the industry. But every single supplier on this call, every person is so important to the whole. They're each big cogs in the wheel, if you will. But one of the things I'd just like to say is that, no one's in a race to do it the first. To be the first out of the gate, because we all want to get it right. And I think when I listen to my colleagues here, I'm just so impressed with everything that we're all doing, that it's going to be so perfect for you. So when your advisor, the Departures travel people, phone you and introduce you back to the travel, don't be one of those people who kind of goes, well, I'm not sure I want to travel again, or listen to some of the things that are out there, because I know your confidence will come back. It always has. It's we're all shaken a little bit, but as Graham and everybody have said, we've all been pent up. So now people are interested in going, and I think that you have to have confidence in who we are as an industry and the force we have behind us, and the power that we're not just trying to be greedy and get you on ships or airlines or coaches or anything we do, or in the hotels just for the money side of it. We're doing it because, as Graham said at the very beginning, we're in it for safety first, and for the absolute love of travel that we all have. I think it's so important that we all just focus in that it's going to be okay. It might not be okay right now, but it's going to be really okay for you to travel. And I just want to say that when we do get it all together and we all turn on the taps just a little bit more, and they will turn on slowly, but they will turn on very soon, is that it's going to be okay to travel. And I really hope that all of you just grab onto it again, because what we have to try and do is remember what we've been on before, where we've gone before, and we have to try and remember what the future will be like again for us.
Kathy, it might even be better.
It is.
It might even be better, because all of the companies that we represent and the entire industry are taking this opportunity to reset.
That's
it's a
right.
major reset.
Mm-hmm.
And in
Good
saying
point.
that, it's innovation and creativity that's going to lead coming out of this.
And it's exciting innovation that we're seeing. Like we could each go on for an hour of everything that our companies are doing, but the innovation that I'm seeing personally from the cruise line side of it is just mind-blowingly fabulous. So I know that all of us are doing it, and I think that's a great point. Yeah. really great.
That's awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We are going to get into our next presentation, but I just want to say thank you so much for each of you taking the time today. It's been really important for us. I think it's important for our clients to hear from all the different sectors, to know that you're all going to be taking very good care of them and that we will take care of them on the front end. So I think we make a great team, and thank you so much. So you can just all sign yourselves out, and we're going to welcome our next presenter on. And thank you again. We'll have you all back.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thanks,
so much for your
everyone.
time, everyone.
Bye
Bye,
now.
everyone.
Hello, Paula.
Hello, hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Paula. Welcome to our show. So we are live, Facebook Live on Zoom today. And so everybody, this is Paula Rizzo. She comes with us to us today from Insight Vacations and Luxury Gold. And for those of us that were on the last call, you met her partner and boss, and that was Brad. And so Paula's going to actually take us into the meat and bones of their product and give us a lovely presentation.
I certainly will. Let me just get hooked up.
Beautiful.
Here we go. Let me just move you guys out of the way here. Okay, there we are. Perfect. Well, hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Paula Rizos, and I am the Director of Business Development for Insight Vacations and Luxury Gold, based in our beautiful city of Vancouver, BC. I want to talk to you today about a company that has something very special to offer you. I have been in the travel industry for over 35 years. It seems like a lifetime after what's been going on in the world today. But I knew when I started with Insight Vacations 2 years ago that I found a company that changed the way I experienced travel. So with that, I'd like to welcome you to Insight Vacations. At Insight Vacations, we've been traveling in style since 1978. We believe that travel is not just about going to incredible places, but really connecting with them in an authentic way. Travel in its truest sense is both a joy and a personal passion for every member of our team. It's unbelievable how much our world has changed in such a short time. We have all been forever imprinted with memories of sheltering away from our friends and family, taking extraordinary measures to stay healthy and longing to return to all the things we love, like travel. Being part of a family-run company that has been in business for over 100 years and is proudly debt-free means that you can travel with the reassurance that we continue to providing class of standard for a clean and hygienic travel experience on every single trip. Smaller groups and more personal space on our coaches allow you to travel as part of a sociable group and still maintain your social distance. The well-being of our guests and teams have always and will always be our top priority. Let's take a peek at the future of Insight and also Luxury Gold. We have over 100 premium journeys and more than 70 unique experiences. Once you find your perfect journey, your travel advisors at Departures Travel will work to make it just perfect for you. With Insight, you're not just buying a trip, you're signing up for an experience of a lifetime and the opportunity to make travel matter. So where will you go next? Let's help write your story together. Your next trip with Insight can be summed up in just a few words. All the sights and insights, up close and personal, in comfort and in style. Get up close and personal with the authentic experiences that are not available to the average traveler. With our collection of more than 70 Insight experiences included in all our premium journeys, we offer a richer holiday for better value. Across our trips, you'll dive deeper into unique experiences that are unavailable to the independent traveler. Take a look at this really cute shot. It's in Kilkenny, Ireland, where you'll be joining a professional hurling player. So all our guests will have an opportunity to learn how to hurl and also play a really, really fun match. How exciting is that? Dining with Insight is also different. We take our guests out of the hotel restaurant and into a diverse world of dining styles and local experiences. In St. Sebastian, Spain, for example, as you see here, our guests get to explore the old town with a local foodie who takes them on a progressive dinner, tasting the variety of their specialty pinchos, the local tapas from one restaurant to the next. In Ston, Croatia, which is such a popular destination for us, you guys will get to sail across the beautiful azure waters with a famous, actually one of our dearest friends. He's a captain. His name is Tomislav, and you'll be visiting his oyster beds, his floating oyster beds. Well, he'll bring fresh oysters from the sea, and you'll enjoy those with a lovely glass of local Prosecco. You'll also get close up and personal with our destination by meeting amazing people who open up their homes and their hearts, inviting you to experience the local destination just like the locals do. No matter where you go, you'll taste the local flavors with a variety of delicious ways to dine beyond the hotel restaurant and into the places that local people dine. From local restaurants and into the homes of local people, you'll get to taste a truly authentic experience. In Tuscany, meet Nonna and her family for a home-hosted dinner where she serves traditional Southern Italian specialties at the family table. Learn how to make the regional specialties when you're traveling and you're in Hungary, in Budapest particularly, when you'll be visiting a famous strudel house, and find out how the chefs have perfected their recipes over the decades, creating the most delicious variety of strudel. And don't forget, you'll also be tasting it. End your trip on a very high note at our celebration dinners, dining at the acclaimed restaurants, for example, of like the King George, which is at the magnificent Ashford Castle, which, by the way, is one of our Red Carnation hotels. No 2 days on an Insight journey are the same, as we bring the magic of each destination you visit to life. With plenty of opportunities to personalize your trip, you can create your own adventure alongside your knowledgeable travel director, who is there to ensure your vacation is absolutely seamless. In 2020, we launched what we call Insight Choice. And with this, you have the opportunity to follow your interests, and you get to choose the experiences that speak to you. So on most of our trips, your travel director will offer you a choice of 2 experiences. For example, you can choose from exploring an art museum, or you can go on a foodie tour. Life is full of tough choices, like knowing where to dine in the newfound cities that you'll be traveling in. With Insight, you also have the choice of dining experiences through our Dine Around evenings. On many trips, the travel director will actually suggest local restaurants that you can either dine in a small group, or you can dine with your traveling companion. During your free time, your travel director can make local recommendations on how you can explore on your own. These can be visits to local museums, foodie experiences, concerts, sightseeing, and other activities that you can enjoy. And of course, you will travel in comfort and in style with your expert travel director there to make everything seamless and stress-free for you and the small group of fellow travelers that you will be joined with. You'll stay in style in hotels that are absolutely handpicked for the best locations, and travel from one city to the next on board our customized coaches, which have twice the legroom and twice the view. Exclusive to Insight, our smaller groups travel are also customized with fewer seats and twice the legroom. So you can sit back and relax and enjoy the views while our professional driver takes you around Europe in ultimate comfort. We look forward to, with the changes that are going on in 2020, we look forward to reducing the number of passengers on our coaches to approximately 20 or 25, which is really exciting. It's not only traveling by coach though, you will also be traveling by various modes of transportation. For example, in Switzerland, if we're traveling on one of our itineraries, you'll be traveling on the Glacier Express. And even when you're traveling with us to Egypt, you'll be on board a beautiful river ship when you're sailing the Nile. In France, this is one of our most senior and amazing travel directors. His name is Laurent. He loves to share some treats with from his favorite patisserie as a flourish for our guests. These special treats are surprises that our travel directors delight you with from the time when they have a uniqueness within the region. So they get to share all these little lovely delights with you. We believe that where you stay makes the difference between a good holiday and an unforgettable one. That's why we take our greatest possible care in choosing the hotels that are truly excellent in terms of style, location, and service. Our stylish hotels are in the right locations, either in city centers where cultural attractions are our doorstep or at their doorstep, or in stunning scenic locations which are off the beaten path. You will stay at a variety of acclaimed hotels. For example, this is the Bovey Castle. It is literally in Dartmoor National Park. It is absolutely stunning. Or something a little bit different, like a boutique city center hotel, like the Hotel Angleterre in Geneva, which again is part of our acclaimed sister brand, the Red Carnation Hotels. In 2020, we introduced new destinations to Insight Vacations, India, Sri Lanka, and Nepal, plus exciting new trips to exciting destinations within Britain and the Eastern Mediterranean. With over 100 journeys, let's find the right trip for you. Let's take a look at some of our guest favorites, which will be waiting for you when you're ready and feel comfortable to travel once again. Our most popular Discover journey is the Road to Rome, visiting iconic favorites including Paris, the Swiss mountains and lakes, Venice and Rome. You also get to visit the Vatican. You get guest priority. That means that you will skip the long queues, and also access to the Bramante staircase, which you see right here, which is normally off limits to most visitors. Regional journeys, like the Best of Portugal, guests can follow the fortunes of Spanish, Portuguese, and Moorish kingdoms. I did this one last year. It was absolutely breathtaking. It is one of our most popular journeys to Iberia. In Madrid, you get to join an art historian, and you get an insightful, beautiful tour of the Prado Museum, and we can't leave Seville without enjoying a beautiful flamenco show. Our East Bay journeys are actually one of our most popular journeys. It's a perfect journey for our guests that are seeking a little bit more leisure time and more nights in just a few of the key cities. Each itinerary typically has a full day of leisure in each city, so guests can explore on their own, and your travel director, again, will arrange any optional day trips on the days of leisure that you might have. Our Country Roads of Croatia, 14 days. It is an absolutely stunning journey. It is off the beaten track. It is great for repeat visits if you want to a country. For those of you that like to truly experience the hidden delights of the smaller little country towns, this is just the right journey for you. We invite our guests to take a step also back in time and explore some of the world's oldest civilizations. We have over 18 destinations to 9 countries in the Eastern Med. And North Africa, and of course the Indian subcontinent. Some of those destinations are in Egypt, Turkey, India, Nepal, and of course our new one, Sri Lanka. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now for something truly, truly special. I know Kathy, both Kathys, are wanting to go on one of these trips, so maybe we can convince them to lead one of these trips with us. I'd like to share with you a totally different experience for those of you that want something that is truly tailored, truly luxurious and exceptional. I'd like to introduce you to Luxury Gold. Traveling with Luxury Gold means, as our guests, you will journey beyond the ordinary and on over 50 spectacular journeys. You'll unplug, you will relax, and you'll open up to the charm of the different cultures and experiences. With Luxury Gold, there are no optionals. From humble beginnings to a modern group of over 30 leading travel brands, including Luxury Gold, Red Carnation Hotels, and Uniworld Cruises, we follow a shared philosophy. No request is too large, no detail too small. No matter where you're looking to travel, be assured that you are in great hands with the global presence of our company and 100 years of experience. Our exclusive VIP experiences are reserved for Luxury Gold guests only, from meeting remarkable people to visiting iconic sites when not open to the public. We take dining to a completely new level with meals at critically acclaimed restaurants, to dine at home experiences, and visiting local people who are opening up their kitchens to you. Our travel concierge is with you all the way, always ready to share in-depth knowledge, take care of all the logistics, and tailor the trip just for you. Our small and intimate journeys means exploring the world in a small group of like-minded new friends. You will overnight in luxurious hotels with impeccable service, sumptuous amenities, and desirable locations. From luxury coaches, legendary trains, private yachts, and safari vehicles, your mode of transport may vary, but an elegant adventure awaits you at all times. And it's so important today to travel with a company that cares. We strongly believe in preserving the cultures and places we visit to ensure they remain vibrant for when your kids and grandkids travel there in their lifetime. With 100 years of experience, we're able to deliver some truly exceptional experiences. Our exclusive VIP experiences are not available to other travelers, from meeting incredible local people to accessing iconic sites. The benefits is that our guests gain insights from people they normally wouldn't meet when they explore the landmarks and without the crowds. We believe that you should be free to indulge your passions, and we've designed a collection of luxury journeys which will inspire you to chase your interests and enjoy them to an exceptional degree. In Vienna, I don't know if many of you traveled or visited Vienna, but this is Schönbrunn Palace, and it is absolutely magnificent. And once the door closes for all the tourists, guests of Luxury Gold get a private after-hours visit to explore the frescoed ceilings and crystal chandeliers without the crowds. You get to spend the private time in the Great Gallery, where actually Mozart, when he was 6 years old, played for the Empress Maria Theresa. It's absolutely breathtaking. For those clients that want to experience something truly unique and exceptional, our most exclusive experiences are part of our chairman's collection and are handpicked by our chairman, Mr. Stanley Tolman, reflecting his life and travel. These experiences are only available on select journeys and departures such as the Ultimate Italy. Luxury Gold guests are invited to join an exclusive lunch, as you see here, with Marchese Mazzi at his centuries-old Tuscan estate. The Marchese comes from a long lineage of winemakers. Currently, I think they're in the 25th generation, and he will share his stories about his family heritage with our guests over a delicious lunch. And of course, I think you're going to have 1 or 2 bottles of wine from the vineyard as well. The travel concierge is also there to handle all the logistics of your journey. That means guiding our guests to their pre-reserved front row seats to any music concert. They also will be offering a choice of dining experiences when we have our Your Choice evenings, or the choice of included experiences when we have our days that are marked Your Way. Food and wine is incredibly important for our luxury travelers, and the variety of dining options add definitely to the richness of your experiences when you're traveling with us. Luxury Gold offers a world of exceptional dining on Capri, as you see here. This is an absolutely stunning view of the Gulf of Naples, and it is from the Michelin star restaurant Mama. Our guests get to have a beautiful afternoon lunch at this Mediterranean Michelin star restaurant, tasting all the beautiful flavors of the Caprese style meal. And also they get to spend a little bit of time with our infamous chef Salvatore La Regione. So very exciting, more intimate, and what a view. Can you imagine? Guests will stay at the finest hotels with impeccable service and luxurious surroundings, where they can unwind and soak up the exceptional comfort. Well, we are pleased, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, the award-winning Red Carnation hotels, which are also part of our family. Our guests, when they're traveling and they're doing the Ultimate Ireland, will actually be staying 2 nights at the beautiful Ashford Castle. But also included in the Red Carnation are stays at the Hotel Angleterre, as I mentioned in our previous slide, and also the Hotel Montague in Germany. Also with Luxury Gold, we get to choose actually some different modes of travel for you. In Europe, that means also traveling on a customized coach for sure, the luxury coach, and which has double the legroom and much smaller intimate group sizes for 2021. But if you're doing the Ultimate Italy and you're traveling with us, you get to travel on the Venice Simplon Orient Express. How cool is that? Definitely on my bucket list, that's for sure. On days with relaxed starts, we offer our guests the opportunity to sleep in and enjoy a complimentary breakfast delivered to their room, or they can opt to spend some time exploring the city on their own. After all, our hotels are all located in desirable locations. We understand that luxury truly lies in the details, from our professional team of experts who plan our itineraries to the individuals on the journey taking care of our clients. We ensure every detail is delivered to the utmost care. Our most popular luxury gold journeys are the Ultimate Italy. I talked briefly on that, but this is just one of, it's a spectacular, spectacular journey. It showcases Italy's grand past. You visit the romantic cities, you see the natural wonders. Guests will visit the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican City, Doge Palace in Venice, without the crowds when they're not open to the public, and dining at the most beautiful restaurants. The Ultimate Ireland, it is absolutely, Ireland is a storyteller's paradise. Our guests get to hear the tales of Dublin from our local legend, Trevor White, during an after hours visit to his museum, and end your journey, of course, with 2 nights at the magnificent Ashford Castle. Spain and Portugal in style. Experience the passion, creativity, and romance of Spain and Portugal as you witness fiery flamenco performances. Our guests will also visit the Gaudi. It is an absolutely spectacular architecture, and obviously the town itself, dining at some of the finest restaurants as well. As a responsible travel company, we believe in safeguarding our environment and the communities we visit so that we remain vibrant for generations to come. And no time is more important than now. Clients like you would be supporting the local economies and local businesses, which is key to making travel matter during this period of recovery. In addition to supporting charities like One Tree Planted and Me to We, Insight and Luxury Gold and our Treadright Foundation partner with local artisans like the Loom Weavers of Perugia and the Christine Hereen Foundation, which welcomes aspiring flamenco dancers from around the world. We introduced Ecuador this year. It is absolutely exciting with our partnership. We have it previously in India, and we will continue to do that in 2021. But our guests get to take a little extra few days and they can participate in the local community development and meet the local people to understand the way that they live. This is Marta. She is one of the young ladies that we help and we work with. Marta will explain the heritage of looming. And we want to partner with her, and we have, and she's just a beautiful young lady, giving her the empowerment to continue what she does in her local community by providing her with opportunities that she wouldn't have otherwise. In 2020, at Insight, we introduced a new heritage project that Insight and Treadright are supporting. In Seville, usually, and we do continue to have flamenco shows, but this year we decided to sponsor and work with the Hereen Foundation, which welcomes aspiring dancers from around the world, teaching them the art of flamenco. So why are we visiting them? Well, Insight is a leader. We want to continue to encourage and to keep the art of flamenco dancing going for many, many years. So our guests, when they travel with Luxury Gold, actually get to visit the school, learn a few flamenco steps, at the same time support and nurture young talent and ensure the future of this beautiful, beautiful art. 2020, everyone, has been an absolutely unprecedented year in the world, especially for the travel industry globally. However, through adversity, our united and passionate global team is looking for the future and bringing newly enhanced and refreshed journeys, keeping the well-being of our teams and our valued guests always our top priority. We were pleased, we launched 2021 a little bit early this year, which is really exciting. When you're ready to travel, your trusted departure travel advisors will be happy to share all our amazing offers for 2021 and also share with you our exciting details about our new journeys to Argentina, Chile, and Peru. Many of you are thinking though, where can I travel now? Some of you actually, I'm sure, have the bug. The answer, it's a little close to home, but I think home is a wonderful place. How about something that is right in our backyard? I'm pleased to share our local journeys with you. Insight has one journey. It is a 12-day. You'll be exploring the landscapes of the Canadian Maritimes, visiting Halifax, Cape Breton, Prince Edward Island, This inside experience is not to be missed, especially the authentic lobster lunch aboard the lobster boat in New Brunswick. That's because Captain Ron teaches our guests how to cook and eat lobster the Acadian way. Other magical moments include visiting Peggy's Cove and, of course, Anne of Green Gables. 2020 and 2021 departures are available. So I think I was talking to Kathy a little bit today, and she was looking at this one. So hopefully we can pique your interest if you've got travel on the mind. And then for Luxury Gold, we have our Indulgence of Eastern Canada. It's a mix of English and French cultures. As our VIP guests, you will indulge in all the elegance of this romantic 8-day journey has to offer. From the sweeping skylines of Toronto to the thundering thrills of Niagara Falls, you'll be equally inspired by both the natural elements and urban areas of this striking part of the world. Along the way, you'll stay at the best hotels, including the Fairmont Chateau Laurier in Ottawa, and my favorite, the Fairmont Le Chateau Frontenac in Quebec City. It is just gorgeous. So July and August, we have some dates available, and September. So if that piques your interest, talk to the captains. And for us here on the West Coast, to take in the majesty of the Rockies as you travel in luxurious comfort for 14 days when you're traveling on the Majesty. Visiting historic villages in Western Canada, you'll be savoring some delicious local cuisine in trendy Vancouver restaurants, and of course, meeting some local experts here up in Whistler and Squamish, and also in Victoria. Luxury accommodations include the Fairmont Hotels in Banff and Lake Louise. And of course, this is a VIP experience. You also get to meet a Royal Canadian Mountie to learn about their service and hear about their personal stories. And also at Whistler, you'll be visiting a First Nations cultural center, which is really, really quite unique. So if you've got travel on your mind, and if you're looking at it for 2020, these are a few of our Canadian journeys that I encourage you to look at. At Inside Vacations and Luxury Gold, your well-being is our top priority. We have all adapted to this new world where it's imperative for us to take additional measures to stay healthy. That's why when you're traveling and ready to travel with us again, rest assured that we've put numerous new measures in place to elevate our hygiene standards and protocol. The health and well-being of our guests will always be on our minds. In this fast-changing COVID-19 era, we're doing all we can to adapt to new requirements and expectations. Here are a few of the few details that we're working on. Our travel directors have been newly trained in new and enhanced hygiene and physical distancing procedures during your trip. They will operate with a duty of care and monitor the hygiene etiquette of our guests, reacting and advising as needed to ensure high standards are continuously maintained. And it's just not your travel directors. Behind the scenes, our operations and guest support teams are always in contact with the journey 24/7, so you can rest assured that you're always in good hands. Our customized luxury coaches are sanitized before the start of every trip and have always been kept in very high standards. And following the outbreak of COVID-19, we've taken additional measures to elevate our hygiene and sanitary practices in accordance, of course, with the World Health Organization. Our drivers are trained in the latest hygiene protocols, and of course, surfaces like handrails, door handles, our air conditioning filters are changed daily, always with our guests in mind. Should any unexpected situation arise, face masks, rubber gloves, antiviral sprays, and wipes are available for all our guests. We are very, very selective. I think probably Brad mentioned in his little chat a little bit earlier, we are taking our time to ensure that Insight is ready for you. Because we've worked with partners, we've worked with hoteliers and restaurants and ground handlers, and we want to ensure that all of our partners together meet our standards so that they can meet your standards. Our smaller groups and customized coaches will have fewer seats. You not only get to have twice the legroom on our standard coach, but also far more personal space. Smaller groups means less queuing, embarking and disembarking, as well as at our hotels. So which is something we just need to do, and we know it's important just for your peace of mind. And you'll always be in the know. Inside Vacations is kept up to date with all government advisories. Kathy and the entire team at Departures Travel will always be notified of any updates that we have in terms of restaurants or any museums. We'll always ensure that we communicate all that information to the team. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's over to you. Your next travel story starts today. From our family to yours. Delivering your travel dreams for the future is our mission, and we look forward to welcoming you on board Insight and Luxury Gold. And I know, I've known these ladies for a long time. There's no better travel agency than Departures Travel, who I know share our love of travel and will guide you in the right direction. Bon voyage, everybody.
Thank you, Paula. That's really great. And after seeing a little bit of the Maritimes last year, I'm so excited and want to go back and see it in the fall. So I think we should work on that for 2020.
That's wonderful. Well, we have it for 2021, and we've got most of, if not all of our journeys for 2021. So for those that are listening and for your valued clients, we're here for you. And we look forward to for you joining us all on our future journeys.
Thank you for joining us, Paula. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
You can let yourself out and we will let the next speaker in.
There we go.
There she is. Hi, Kathy.
One.
You can, great, you unmuted yourself. Welcome back. So thank you for joining us earlier on our panel, and just wanted to introduce you to everybody now. This is Kathy Denroche once again.
Hi, everyone.
Oceania Cruises, and Kathy's going to fill us in on all new and wonderful things with Oceania Cruises.
Well, thank you. And I've got just a short period of time to talk to you, but I'm going to share my screen. And Kath, if you wouldn't mind telling me that if you can see it or not, that would just be great.
Yep, you're good. It's coming.
Perfect.
Good to go.
So let me just do this. Well, everybody, I just wanted to thank you so much for having us. And I think Kathy and the two Kathys have done incredibly well doing these kind of shows for you in the past. And I think the good news is that travel is alive and well. I was saying before, for those of you who might not have been in it, that travel is the second largest industry in the world. So the world can't operate without travel. And I think it's such a great business to be in. We've all had a really big curve of adjustment, and we're all working very diligently to make sure that we come back better than we started out or where we ended 3 months ago. But what at Oceania we've done is we've done a kind of a campaign that we call Dream, Plan, and Discover. So for some of you, there's like, if you're like me, you're going to be that person that says, get me on the next ship, get me on the next plane, I'm ready to go. And I've had this kind of pent up demand out to travel. Or we'd be disappointed because our travel experiences have been postponed for a little while, but we're ready to do it now. Then there's going to be some of you who say, well, maybe I'll just wait till there's a vaccine, and maybe I'll just see how others are doing, and I'll go ahead and I'll plan my travel for the future. And then there's some of us who will say, I don't know if I ever want to travel again. And what I want to assure you is that, through all the press, through all the things that we've heard about, is we always have to have the full story. And I think the one great thing about the travel business is it's one of the most resilient of all businesses. So I want to talk to you just a little bit about Oceania, because, we were built in three things, our core pillars. And this is what all the cruise lines out there, all of the companies that you're going to hear tonight have all these great core strengths. But this might be a perfect time, if you have never been on a smaller ship, to consider in post-COVID times that maybe this might be a chance for you to sail on something kind of cool. And that is that with Oceania, and I've been here for 11 years, but I've been in the industry since the Love Boat days, almost 44 years ago. And I can tell you that, when it comes to small ships, and how I remember ships from even that long ago, was that, we built our reputation at Oceania when we started in 2003 on kind of dividing ourselves right, and we kind of wedged our way right in the middle between the luxury lines and the big premium beautiful partners that we have out there. And we kind of said we wanted to do it with a bit of a smaller, kind of more intimate type ship. And so we started out with 3 of the most beautiful little exquisite ships. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen them in our ports, but they're only 30,000 tons and there's 650 guests. And with the new COVID rules, we'll probably be sailing around 500, 550. But I can assure you that what small means to us is that it's intimate at the same time as being respectful and being incredibly safe to sail on and getting into ports that some of the big ships couldn't get into. Our second pillar was that we wanted to be a cruise line that went to the destinations all over the world that, we could, brag about in longer itineraries, kind of not just a 7-day product, but more of a, 10 to 18 to 60 to 180-day cruise around the world. And so we wanted to be a really immersive when it came to destinations. And so we made our itinerary some of the most coveted in the industry. And I still think to this day, looking into 21 and 22, that we have some of the most outstanding itineraries you'll ever want to see. And then thirdly, and everybody brags about their great food on cruise ships, and it's true, the food is fantastic everywhere you go, but one of our 3 pillars that we've never changed from these 3 is really truly coming in with, I think, what we call the cruise line for the foodies. We spend more money per capita than any other luxury line, any other cruise line in the industry on our food. And it's not just because it's a gourmet experience, because that word is so overused, or a culinary experience, but it's because of the freshness of everything we do. It's always about the ingredients and the way that we do it. We're the first cruise line to come out with a vegan, galley, and so the choices you have on board are amazing. So these are the 3 core pillars of who Oceania was built on. And I think when it comes to looking at our beautiful small ships, these are little ships that you can, take and go into places that the big ships can't get into. And I think some of the ports around the world, even before COVID, were saying that they couldn't take the big ships anymore. They needed to all move out. So when we come in with our beautiful little Nautica of 650 guests into a place like St. Petersburg, we dock right in front of the Hermitage. And those are kind of the benefits of coming onto a small ship. So I think the ease of sailing on a small ship and going into some of these incredible places with, just some of the most beautiful food you'll ever have, and things that we've built over the last 20 years and kind of gained this reputation of being the leaders of the upper premium lines, is something that you're going to absolutely love. And one of the things that I love about the travel business after all these years, but I love mostly about Oceania, is that we actually cover the world. The only place we don't go to is the Antarctic. And I think that the fact that we take you into these beautiful little places all over the world on very, very important, intensive, unique itineraries speaks for itself. And so while 2020 looked like it was going to be a banner year for everybody in the industry, what we found is that people are coming in droves for 2021 and 2022. Now, we haven't announced our 23 itineraries yet, but what I will say is that was the most encouraging news of all, and we're seeing this in flexibility and everything that we do, is that while the world isn't going to turn the engine on immediately with everything just coming back at you, we're going to gently move into the business again. We're just going to come in slowly and gradually, like we always have at Oceania, but we're going to do it right. And I think one of the greatest parts of it is that what we saw when we had to cancel some of our sailings up until July was, out of all the cancellations we had, literally 70% of the guests said, keep my money, just put it on the cruise for next year. So people who have sailed with Oceania know what kind of safety precautions we've always had in our industry and in our side of this business, in the smaller ship side of the business. And so they're just dying to get back on the ships. But I will say that when I look at our itineraries and I look at some of the greatest things that we do as a company, I'm so proud of how long our destination kind of immersions go for. Then some of our best-selling cruises for all of you are the things that we do for 30 and 60 days. And I've met many, many guests like yourselves who have gone on a sailing for 11 or 12 days and said all of a sudden, oh, can I just stay on the ship? So I've always said to the 2 Kathys, we should start a campaign on why get off, why go home, because I think there is so much to see and do in the world. And I think you're going to feel like that again. Well, we just really did a recent survey with Condé Nast, and I want to share with you just a little bit of the trends because this will make you feel comfortable. It's the fact that people do want to hear about travel again. 7 weeks ago, probably a lot of people didn't want to hear about travel. They kind of went, oh my goodness, it's too much for me. I'm never going to travel again. But as the weeks go on and what we were talking about earlier on the panel, more and more people, especially in the luxury travelers, those are people who say, well, gee, I'd go back tomorrow. They want to hear about some of the great destinations we're doing. So people are very open to hearing about travel and the travel trends that we have. And what we're seeing now, and where I look and I see where are our bookings coming from? Where are those people who said, well, we don't want to sail this year, but we want to go into next year? Where are they going in 2021? And the number one destination is the Mediterranean. It is going to open back up again, and it's going to be an amazing experience for everybody, because every port, every city, every country is putting into regulations what they want to do, and then they're working with us because they want us to come back in on a little bit of a smaller level, but in a really safe way. And I think what I love about this is our Mediterranean cruises for 2021 are absolutely mind-blowing. They start at 7 days, they go right up to 14 days, and you can take back to back. So you could kind of average a 28-day cruise. The next trend was for Northern Europe and Baltic. Those were the Russia cruises, going into places like St. Petersburg and being able to just hang out for 3 days there, and then heading into places like Helsinki and Sweden and everything. The third most popular destination for us is the Caribbean. Now, isn't that interesting? You never think of Oceania as a Caribbean destination, but because our itineraries are on our beautiful ships for at least 10 days, we have very few 7-day cruises. That these are some really beautiful ports, and the Caribbean depends on travelers from all over the world to come, and so it's as popular, and it's a bit what I call close to home. The fourth destination that we've been selling is Asia. Those are the cruises from maybe Tokyo to Singapore or Vietnam and things like that. We're starting to see a real trend back in 2021 for the spring of that. And then grand voyages. A lot of our guests said, well, I still want to go on my world cruise, and Oceania Cruises, we specialize in destinations. So we specialize in longer cruises. So we do cruises that are kind of 18, 30, 60, and 80 days, as I said. But we also have a cruise that's 180 days. And I can't tell you how many people are looking forward to the 2023 Around the World cruise. We are actually sold out practically for the 2022, and we're definitely sold out for 2021. Now, one of the things I want to talk to you about is the fact that when we look back where we've traveled, and I look at this picture and I go, wow, I mean, I just want to go to Tuscany. I want to go to France. I want to go to Europe again. And I just want to go right now, is that we have to remember what we have done in the past and where we're going to go in the future. And so I really want to try and make you remember what the future is going to look like. When I look at the Taj Mahal and I think about my time in India as well, I just look at this picture and I'd go back tomorrow. See, the thing is, I'm not afraid of traveling right now, but I think that what's going to happen is I'm going to even feel more comfortable as every day moves on until all these countries open their doors again. So I want you to think about the places you've been, the incredible journeys that we've all had, and what the girls can really offer you at Departures Travel, because they're such experts in putting great, unique, adventurous itineraries together for you, whether it's on a cruise line or by land. I think that we want you to remember where you've been before and where we're going to take you again for over the years to come. So the other thing I want to just, talk to you about is, it was our third pillar, but it's the kind of thing that I always try and tell you about, is the real shot about being the foodie cruise line. When you come on Oceania, you know that you're going to have some of the best cuisine of your life. You're going to have the choices that no one else has. And we don't charge you for dining or anything like that. So when it comes to what's Oceania doing for you, where's the safety, where's the flexibility, inspiration, and all the kind of things that we want to talk about, those are things that we're working on behind the scenes right now. And what I was talking about before is talking about the health and protocols that are going to be, the health, protocols that are going to be put in place There are so many things that I could talk about, from whether it's checking in, or whether it's a pre-checking in, whether it's embarkation, whether it's just being at poolside or spa treatment or whatever it is. You can be rest assured that we're going to have it in such a great condition for you and make sure that you are safe and healthy at the same time. The innovation that is happening within the cruise lines is absolutely amazing, and always it's our number one priority to make sure that everybody is safe. But it will be something that you will absolutely love when you come and experience it. But I also want to talk about the health of our attitude when it comes to traveling. And I was mentioning it before on the panel, but I want to make sure that you understand that ships are one of the three entities that have to report illnesses on any ship in the world. And so we have hospitals, we have care centers, and we have our cruise ships. And cruise ships have been reporting illnesses for 40 years. Over all of COVID, 3,000 people have been affected by COVID, unfortunately, on cruise ships. And but that's 3,000 people out of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people sailing all over the world. Ships are very, very safe. We don't talk about, going into, escalators and elevators and things like that, because they're so uneasy to track. But ships are easy to track because we have a certain amount of people, a certain amount of space, a certain amount of time. So when it comes to cruise ships, even the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in the US and the WHO organization will tell you that cruise ships are one of the most safe places to be. And you can see that when you've gone on Oceania. There's people constantly cleaning our ship, and everything we do is for the safety of you. When it comes to changing your reservation, or what our guests decided when we kind of moved things around this year and had to cancel some of our sailings, we said, hey, we're going to be a bit flexible. We're going to have, number one, we're going to have our guests be able to, when they've paid in full, be able to cancel for any reason up to 48 hours. We're going to make sure that when they do rebook, and if we have a better price than when they booked at the beginning, we're going to make sure they have that too. And we're not going to charge penalties. So the girls can tell you all about that, but we have a program called the Travel Assurance Program, and every single supplier, every single operator has that. So, 20 minutes is never enough for me, but what I do want to tell you is that, when I look at overall of the industry, what we're doing, we have what we also are doing at Oceania. And that was, we had to turn the engines on somehow. So while our ships aren't sailing at the very moment, everybody, what I can tell you is we're taking huge amounts of bookings into 21 and 22. They are going to be banner years. They're looking outstanding because people will travel again and people are getting pent up. What we did, turn our engines on, we said, we're going to drop the prices on 96% of our sailings. Now we say that, we call it the ultimate sale, but when you look online or you look through, as Dave on the panel said, that, Departures Travel is going to play one of the most important roles for you when you travel again, is you're working with a travel advisor. They're going to be able to tell you, because they'll be very, in sync with what we do as suppliers to what is out there. And I can promise you that the prices right now are fantastic on Oceania. And for Canadians, we have a fixed exchange rate of $1.35, and it is, I think, really fantastic. So you've got lots of things going on. Just recently on Victoria Day, we had our 4-category upgrade sale. We have these major price reductions now. So you're going to see a deals, is what we call them, deals for all the suppliers, and the girls are very aware of everything that we're all doing. But the value of Oceania is probably some of the best that I see. If I could say there was a fourth pillar, I would say it's the extraordinary value that we have for our guests. Everybody comes off and says, everything was practically all inclusive. The fact is I'd pay double that for what I experienced. And I can tell you that during COVID, when we had to extend some of our sailings, the guests that were on the sailings, we've got many Victoria people that might be on the line who had sailed before. have really, really loved their experience, even on the extended cruise. We take care of you. And so when it comes to all of the things that we do in our price reductions, when it comes to Departures Travel being part of the Ensemble Travel Group, we have exclusives. We have where you have prepaid gratuities. We have value included more and more in your fare, more than anybody else. We also have hosted cruises that we do through Departures and through Ensemble. So you can join a group if that's what you want. If you're a single guest, there's going to be single fares available to you. If you're a single guest and you kind of don't want to travel on your own, but you want to be with a group, you can go into one of the hosted groups. If you're anybody who just wants to be with a host, then you know that you have that through Ensemble. And with everything we do at Oceania, what I love about this cruise line is that we always have included your air out of Vancouver, out of Toronto and Montreal, and we have add-ons out of Victoria and Ottawa and everything else. But we include your air, we include your cruise, we include your taxes, and now we have OLife Choice. And OLife Choice is a choice of whether you want a beverage package, which is wine and beer at lunch or dinner, or whether you want, shipboard credit, or whether you just, and you could go to the spa or whatever you want to do with that money, or spend it in the, shops on board the ship, or you want a package full of shore excursions. Those are the kinds of things that you get included with Oceania. So we don't ever want to make this a sales pitch, but we want to make sure that we're actually giving you the right facts so you can look and say, gee, this is something I'm part of. I want to be part of Oceania. I want to be part of a smaller cruise line. I want to be with 650 other guests. And so as we reintroduce our fleet, we'll probably introduce one or two at a time late this year, and we'll start moving through. But I can promise you that the industry is just in a dream plan and discover stage, and we're all there to really help you. So I am going to stop sharing. That was as I said, I was going to be very, very, very quick, but I will, to keep everybody on time. But I must say that after all these years, I love, no matter what product I go on, I've always loved everything. I love big ships. I love small ships. But there's something about Oceania, and after 11 years, I can tell you, it's one of the most dynamic little cruises. If I was going to look at a cruise right now for 21 or 22, I'd probably start out with the Mediterranean, because I think that's going to be one of the most exciting places to go to. So to the girls, Kathy and Kathy, we've got three Kathys with C's on the call here, and we're all chatty. But do you have any questions for me?
I have one question for you, Kat.
Yeah.
What is the first place that you're going to do an Oceania cruise?
Oh, well, I want to do.
What will you pick?
Well, I have plans to go on the Holy Land in November, and I'm hoping that we'll still go. And it's a 20-day cruise. It's actually beautiful sailing. But I want to say that, yeah, I've done Egypt and things before, but I've never gone into the Holy Land, and I'd love to do that. And I think all these countries are just opening up their arms, saying, come to us. We want to have you there. So hopefully we'll go. If not, then it'll be 2021 for sure. How about you?
Fantastic. I'd like to do something in the Mediterranean. And as you know, I take my mom usually once a year on a cruise, and the next one that we're planning on doing is Oceania. So I have to sit her down and see where she'd like to go, but that'll be 2021 for sure, because this year probably won't happen for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, really looking forward to that and experiencing the beautiful ships. And I've been on many of them, but I have not sailed with you yet. So really looking forward to it.
Well, there's very few people in the world, I can tell you, after talking to so many guests from all over the world, who don't love Oceania. I think it's one of the most beautiful little products out there, and it's we take such good care of you. So I think you're going to absolutely love the experience. Come home and join that part of our family. And with that, I will leave you both and let your next presenter come in. So thank you all so much for having me. And I know the girls can answer anything for you, but whatever we can do for you, we're always here. So
thank you for joining us, Kathy.
Okay, take care.
Thanks, Kathy.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Well, Kathy didn't use up all of her time today, which was...
She did not. So we'll just share we'll just share our schedule and we can get probably going early with our next presenter. But one of the things that I thought was very interesting about our panel discussion, as well as Kathy's chat, was how many people across all of the sectors actually ended up rebooking, canceling for this year, of course, because we didn't have a choice in that, and then rebooking for next year. And we certainly found that through both of our stores.
Exactly. And I think, you know, most people had sort of written off 2020, but when Kathy mentioned the Holy Lands, you saw my eyes nearly fell out. That's one that I really, really want to do. So if they're going in the fall, I will be going.
I know you will. It's too funny. I laughed at that because I knew you were going to jump on that one as soon as I heard her say that. So that's fantastic. Yeah, I'm looking forward to sailing with Oceania. So I'm pretty sure that Kim is probably ready to join us early. So why don't we let her in? And let her get set up. So everybody who's on the call, the next presenter today is going to be Kim Lucy, and Kim is going to talk to us about the future of river cruising. So she is with Viking River Cruises and Ocean Cruises, of course, but she's going to be specifically talking about Viking River Cruises today.
I'm just letting her in. She'll be very surprised. Hi, Kim. We're a little early today because Kathy Denroche did not use all of her time. Surprise.
Well, Kim, we'll need you to unmute yourself.
I did.
Yeah, right now.
Fantastic. So welcome to our Departures Lounge travel show. Kim, thank you so much for joining us today. And we're really excited to hear more about Viking River Cruises and what you've got that's new and exciting and moving forward. So I'll let you take it away if you want to share your screen with us.
Yes. What happened? Sorry, it was all set up. There we go.
That's all right.
There it goes.
Sorry, I had a bunch of different things going on.
We surprised you early.
Yeah, that's okay. No problem. I'm ready to go. All right. Well, welcome everybody. And it's very exciting to be part of this type of presentation. It's my first time on Facebook Live. I've been doing lots of Zoom meetings. So I know I have a very short time, so let me get started. What I wanted to do was to give you a bit of an overview of Viking. I want to touch on a couple of new products that we have. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in the industry and what we're doing, or as much as we can tell you about what we're doing to make you feel safe when you come back. So we do sail all over the world. We have river ships, ocean ships, expedition ships, and now we have a Mississippi ship. So we're covering 7 continents, 95 countries, 403 ports of call, 5 oceans, 20 rivers, and now we even go to 5 Great Lakes. So I'm going to give you a little sense of all of that as I go through. But a little bit of background on Viking. We have been around for 23 years. We started in 1997 in Russia. We now have a series of ships, including the 2 that you see on the photograph right now. Those are our ocean ships and one of our river ships. They're on their way up to Amsterdam, where we do combination cruises and people can switch from one ship to the other on some of the itineraries that we offer. So all of them are green technology. I know that's important for people in Victoria. They have hybrid engines. We have all the latest environmental equipment, reduced carbon emissions, reduced vibration, etc. So even though we're growing our fleet with 74 river ships, 8 ocean ships, 2 expedition ships coming and 1 Mississippi ship, we are very conscious of the mark that we make on the environment. So with those smaller ships, they are able to spend more time in port. They're able to dock closer to the center of the city with all of our destinations, or at least as many places as we can secure that type of docking location. We have built these beautiful ships. I thought you might like to see some of just a quick overview. We do have beautiful Scandinavian design and lots of space. So Kathy was asking me to talk a little bit about, how this is going to look after we come back to cruising. And one of the things that I think is going to make a big difference for many of you is that we are a small ship company. Our ships are 930 guests on our ocean, under 200 passengers on river, and we're already designed with more space per passenger. So for us to make the changes that are necessary, once we know what those regulations are going to be, it's not going to be that difficult because we already have a lot more space per passenger. You're not going to find those large crowds. You're not going to find long lineups, and you never have. So I think that transition is going to be a lot easier. As I mentioned, we do have the 4 products, and this gives you an idea of some of the things that we have to offer: spacious staterooms, big lots of windows. As you can even see in some of these pictures, there's already a lot of space per passenger, and we've designed our ships that way as we go. Lots of beautiful art and literature, lots of great surprises. And for us, relaxation is really one of the important features. We are catering to a worldly crowd, curious travelers, people like Kathy actually and me that are super excited about traveling to weird and wonderful destinations, collecting different experiences, and we're able to do that in comfort. So you're going to be traveling with like-minded people. We have a focus on education, on intimacy, and intimacy in the ports of call, meaning immersion and the opportunity to really dig a little bit deeper. We do that through destination dining, so you can try some of the local cuisine. We have changing menus every day, as well as always available steak, Caesar salad, chicken, and salmon. But we also, with our shore excursions, we bring on great lectures. So you're going to learn about everything as we go, but you'll also get to dig a little deeper as we go ashore, looking at things like local life, where you can meet some of the locals and peek inside their homes, maybe share a drink or a vodka or a cup of tea, or maybe you can go to the market with the local chef and learn a little bit about what that cuisine is like and take some cooking classes. Working World gives you a sense of the economy, and that might be a winery, or maybe it's a chance to learn about the cognac industry and cognac, which is one of my favorite things to do. And then of course, Privilege Access takes us behind the scenes to places like the Viennese Boys Choir and going into their residence and meeting the boys personally and getting a chance to sit in on a rehearsal, not just the concert, but that more personal attention that we like to give you. Here we have what we include. So not a lot of surprises. You don't have to reach into your pocket for extra money. We include a shore excursion in each port of call, beer, wine, and soft drinks with meals. Optional dining on all of our ships is included, bottled water, specialty teas and coffees at a 24-hour self-serve coffee, tea, and cappuccino bar in Rivers, or a coffee bar on all of our other products. In-room entertainment, there's no extra cost you have to look for, like port charges or taxes and fees. All of that is included. So there's not a lot of surprises and not a lot of extra costs. I always say that you can put your wallet away. Anything that you want it can be handled before you depart, and there's not a lot of extra other than what's in the price of the ticket. So let's take a quick look at some of our river destinations. People are interested in this particular itinerary. 51% of our clients take this one first. This is our Grand European 15 days, 11 guided tours in 4 different countries. You really get a sense of the center of Europe. So even if you've traveled extensively as I have, I love this itinerary because it gets me into little out of the way places that when you're on a tour of Europe, you tend to go to big cities and you go from one big city to another, whether it's by train, car, or coach. This way you get to see some of the smaller, more historical cities along the rivers. We also spend some time in Russia, 3.5 days in St. Petersburg, 3.5 days in Moscow, and then those small little villages along the waterways, the 5 different waterways that are connected through the waterways of the Tsars. That was built by Stalin. Wonderful experience if you want to spend and learn a little bit more about Russia and their great history, culture, dance, music, all of that. France is another great destination for us. This one puts a couple of itineraries together for 8 days, going up to Paris, Normandy beaches, some of the little places along the Seine River, some wine tasting, of course, and then onward by train to Lyon, where you can spend some time exploring the Beaujolais and Burgundy wine area, some of the Roman ruins of the little villages along the way, like Viviers, and then, of course, stopping in Avignon and Arles, which was made famous by Van Gogh and many of his beautiful paintings. So lots to see and do on the rivers. Here you've got many of the destinations, and one of the places that we're also building interest in is Egypt. So that's another area you might want to explore. I know, Kathy, you were there not too long ago, am I right? Exploring Egypt. I saw some fantastic pictures, and it's a place I loved as well. Now, on the river, we also introduced our Mississippi product. It is not sailing till 2022, but our ship is a little different. It's kind of a combination of our river and ocean ships. No paddle wheelers in sight. And we do have some fantastic itineraries, including 8-day itineraries in the southern part of the Mississippi, exploring in and around New Orleans, spending some extra time there for the great music and food and the history of the Cajun culture. We also go all the way up to Memphis, which is the home of Elvis, of course, Memphis barbecue and the Memphis blues, stops in Vicksburg, which is a Civil War historical center, and then onward up to the north from St. Paul to St. Louis, again with the competing barbecues of St. Louis, the great music of St. Louis, the blues up there, and then of course places like Hannibal, which is the home of Mark Twain and where he set all of his wonderful novels about Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer. So we also do a 15-day that travels all the way between St. Paul and New Orleans. Just to give you an idea what those ships look like, here is this is our central living room lobby area. Again, very reminiscent of all of our ships with the big, sort of nice conversation areas, big windows, so you don't miss anything. And this is the bow of our ships. So you can sit at the front and just drink in that beautiful scenery of the Mississippi. From there, we also have our beautiful ocean ships, so you can see I'm taking you a little bit up. We go from 190 guests on our river ships to about 340 on our Mississippi ship, and now 930 on our ocean ship. But again, it's a 50,000 ton ship with lots of space, and we've been recognized as one of the top ocean lines since we launched in 2016. So we have some great itineraries here too. These are very port intensive. And again, a small ship allows us to dock in the center of the city. So here we have overnight in our embarkation, disembarkation ports like Bergen and Stockholm, overnight in St. Petersburg, and we dock in some really amazing places like Gdansk, Tallinn, Copenhagen, Aalborg, Stavanger, and Idefjord into the beautiful fjords of Norway. We're also spending some time in the Mediterranean, another great place for exploring, and we have tons and tons of wonderful itineraries that give you lots and lots of port time. You'll notice with Viking, sea days are at a very minimum. It's really about immersing in the destination and having that time to dock centrally so you can come and go just like you do on an ocean ship or on a river ship. And think of it like, many cases where you stay in those cool little boutique hotels. I know Kathy's very good at finding those and being able to step out in the heart of the old city and everything is right at your fingertips. And even with our smaller ocean ships, we can do that. We're also in the Caribbean, so if you want to try something a little closer to home, that is an option. This one goes overnight in Puerto Rico with 11 ports of call. And again, shore excursions included in all those places. We do have a variety of itineraries you can see in the Mediterranean, Scandinavia. We also offer the Caribbean, Australia, New Zealand. And then, as I mentioned, we do put our river and ocean ships together to create some interesting combination cruises where you swap ships in Amsterdam when those ships come together. We don't have a lot of itineraries that do that simply because it's hard to get those two ships in the same place at the same time. But by all means, talk to our team at Departures Travel. They are experts in this. And we also offer world cruises and long voyages. And I know a lot of you are keen to sail for, for a little bit longer. Once you get on, if you're like me, it's really hard to get off. Now, finally, I wanted to just introduce you to our expedition product. I know many of you are, are adventurers. I am, and we're building two beautiful expedition ships. These are designed for expedition cruising. They're Polar 6, which means they can break through ice. They are designed slightly differently than a lot of the expedition products that are out there right now. They're a little bit narrower and a little bit longer. The reason being that we want to take these ships up into the Great Lakes. So in order to go through the Welland Canal, we have to make them a little bit narrower. But the two ships are being built now. They'll be out in 2021, the Octantis and the Polaris, named after the North and the Southern Stars. And they are traveling to some really fantastic itineraries in the Arctic, the Antarctic, and also the Great Lakes. And I know many people are thinking maybe it's nicer to stay a little closer to home. I can take a train, I can drive, I don't have to get on an airplane. So these are available for you as well. Now I wanted to talk just briefly, I think I'm doing okay on time, a little bit about some of the expedition equipment that we have on board. Because Kathy and I have known each other a long time and we're both serious kayakers. We've been on several kayak trips, and one of the things that I'm super excited about on these expedition ships are the kayaks that we have. It's going to allow people that are active to get out and explore the shoreline, whether that's out in the glaciers of Arctic or Antarctic, but also along the beautiful Canadian Shield in the Great Lakes. The other fun thing about the kayaks, if you've ever kayaked with anybody else, is that they have pedals, not just paddles, which means you can take pictures, you can look through your binoculars, and you don't have to be dragging somebody who might be taking a picture, kind of like my husband. So, or he's fishing and I'm paddling. So I was very excited to see the pedals. In addition to that, we have Zodiacs, and we also have 12-seater ribs, which are rubberized inflatable boats that allow guests to get on the ship, get on the boats inside the ship. We launch them like a boat off a boat ramp. So they slide down a tractor system into the water, and we pull them back up. So if you're not as active as I am and you want to have a little bit drier and maybe less adventurous trip along the shoreline, you can do it on our ribs, and you can get on and off while you're on board the ship. So we also have 2 yellow submarines. Our owner is a big fan of the Beatles, so he thinks it's really cute to call it the Yellow Submarines. They're painted yellow, but they seat 6 people, and they are complimentary to our guests. And think about this in the Great Lakes. There are a lot of sunken ships. And so I think it's going to be very interesting to be able to go down in some of those submarines. Apparently they go down about 900 feet. And so we might be able to get down and do a little exploration around some of those. But there's some really fun things to see. I know we're a little bit, I tend to look at my bucket list and look at all the things that I haven't done farther afield. But the more I've looked at some of these great itineraries we have in the Mississippi and in Canada, it's made me excited about the incredible country that we have, and the 2 countries really in North America that are just open for exploration and might be a little bit faster and easier to get to. So we do have the Arctic, we have the Antarctic, we have the Great Lakes, and we're also sailing to the Galapagos. With the Galapagos, we are going to be doing some land tours combined with our Galapagos experiences, 90 guests on those. And we're going to be visiting Lima, Guayaquil, Cusco, and Machu Picchu. I've been, and it's incredible. So if anybody has not done that and maybe wants to add it to their bucket list, there's lots to see and do. So Kathy, I think I'm on time. I wanted to just say thank you. And I just want to remind people that the one thing I want to really stress is with these smaller ships, we also do tours in smaller groups. So I know a lot of people are worried about social distancing, you're worried about space. I think that we're waiting to hear from the CDC, the World Health Organization, and the individual countries that we visit to let us know what we can and cannot do and what changes we might have to do. But I want to stress that river cruising and our ocean cruising have already looked after a lot of these things. We are probably more regulated than any other travel component in any other trip. We have to report, there are inspections on a regular basis on ships. There are a variety of things that we have to comply with. And so we're very aware of the cleanliness that has to happen on the ships that we have. We have water, we have hand washing stations. Those have been built into our ships right from the very start. We have sanitation stations. We've always served a la minute at the table. And we do have some smaller buffet services, but to convert those is going to be very, very easy. Our tours go out in small groups, and we also tour with an audio box system, which is a wireless connection to the guide, which allows us to walk at those social distance spaces. So I think we're already ahead of the game, and it's just a matter of waiting to get the final go ahead and the final regulations that we need to, and we're ready to go. So we hope and look forward to having you sail with us on some of these really amazing itineraries. Kathy,
Sounds fantastic, Kim. That sounds just great. I know Kathy Larson wanted to ask you a couple of questions, but before we get to her questions, tell us, where is the next place you plan on personally traveling?
Wow, I think I'm going to be stuck a little closer to home. So I definitely see kayaking in my future this summer. and maybe a little bit of a chance to maybe even venture out for some wine tasting in the Okanagan. But I will tell you, I'm pretty darn intrigued with the Galapagos. That's looking very interesting to me. And then I have a huge number of bucket list items. I have to say that not too far in my future, if I retire, God knows when, I have a world cruise in my future as well. And I know Kathy's an expert, both Kathys actually, but Kathy Larson has already talked to people, and I think has some clients that are doing the world cruise coming up this year. And we have our fingers crossed that that's going to go ahead. And I sure wish I could go.
Yeah, I bet that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Right now, I think we're all a little bit stir crazy to get out and experience
You
something.
got that right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, definitely. I'm so excited actually about the Canadian and the Mississippi River. I think that's fantastic.
Mhm. Yeah, me too. I honestly, I mean, I really hadn't thought a lot about North America. The Mississippi's been coming for a really long time, but the ship, I actually have seen pieces of the ship. They're actually in construction right now. They build them in modules, in like pieces, kind of like the Meccano set, and then they put them all together. And I've seen kind of some of the pieces that are already in progress. So it's going to be very exciting when that comes out. And I'll tell you something though, if you're interested, I know it seems crazy right now, but 2022 for our Mississippi is almost sold out. We've opened up 2023, and our 15-day full length Mississippi is already gone for 2022, and we've opened 2023. So if any of your people that are listening to us are interested in Mississippi, I really recommend that you don't wait. Book now.
Good to know. And I have no doubt that that's really popular.
Yeah,
well,
it sure
it is
is.
such a unique itinerary, and the fact of the matter is people are looking a little closer to home right now. So, and I think, you know, we've all had a bit more time to dream and plan, and people are really starting to look at what they want to do moving forward. And as Kathy Denroche said in an earlier presentation today, we are not going to stop traveling. So it's fun to
Absolutely.
see all of these wonderful options that we have. So
Mhm.
that's great.
And
I do
the Viking Egypt was my very first cruise sail.
Oh, was it? Way to
Yeah,
go.
and I'm so glad to see that that's back and doing really well again too. So
Yeah, we've actually, we have 3 ships that are sailing, starting, well, we have 2 now and 1 in 2021. The 3rd one is coming. And I just did a presentation on Egypt this week. And honestly, I went back through all my photographs because I did the trip a few years ago. And it made me excited about that destination again. Honestly, some of these places, it's a good time to be looking at them because
Yeah.
people are going to be more reluctant to travel, which means that there aren't going to be as many people, and that's going to give you so much more space to be able to explore. And places like the temples in Egypt, I went after the Arab Spring. There were 21 people in our group, and we were doing private tours of the temples. I can't promise that's what it's going to be like as more and more people come back to travel, but I'm always a believer in kind of getting a jump on it. And when other people are reluctant to travel, I've found that it's been a great time to go and to just believe that this is going to pass, and we're all going to be able to go out and explore the world again. So
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And I was in Egypt this past year, and you know, of course, it was just sort of getting back to full tilt with travel and tourism, and it was very much, as you were saying, we were in a lot of areas that there were very, very few clients and customers and travelers, and it was really wonderful because you had this wide open space around you, and you weren't dealing with the noise volume, especially when you're listening to your private guides chatting. So, you know, and the other piece of it all is they're going to need the tourism. They were so hard hit between what happened to them before and then just getting back to tourism and now again, right? So we definitely want to support those countries. I mean, we'll all need some tourism for sure.
Yeah,
moving forward.
we need our ships to come back to Vancouver and Victoria, I think.
That would be fantastic.
I know, me too. And I hope that everybody feels safe to come back and do some cruising. It truly is a fantastic way to travel, and it is a safe place to travel. So I think it's a wonderful thing for us to all look forward to, and hopefully we don't have to wait too long.
I
So
hope not.
yeah.
For those of
So
us.
I know I talked a little fast. I was worried about your timing, and but I do see that I think someone else is coming in. So
Yes.
if you're
Yes.
ready, I will step out.
Well, thank you again, Kim, for taking the time. We really appreciate it.
pleasure.
And as always, a wonderful presentation and very inspiring. So we
Good.
look forward to having ourselves and our wonderful clients on board your spectacular ships.
Good. Well, I look forward to seeing them there as well. So have a great time. I see that you're up at, looks like you're at one of my favorite places, Up Island.
I am.
So enjoy. Please go and walk on the beach for me. And,
Will do.
and enjoy that beautiful scenery. I hope the sun is shining.
It's been beautiful. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
I've got to see if I can step out, leave the meeting.
Okay, well, thank you again, Kim. And our next presenter today is going to be Laurie Hudson Craig. And Laurie is going to be speaking to us about a product that is relatively new for us at Departures Travel, something that we're really quite excited about. And it's called Le Boat. And I think it's something that we can do sort of in our own backyard once again. And it's the Rideau Canal Boat Charters. So something completely different. And I think very well positioned for where we are right now in the marketplace. With being able to just be small groups or, small family groups and that sort of thing. So looking forward to hearing more about it. And so welcome, Laurie. You are muted. We'll have to get you to unmute yourself.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful. It's lovely to see your face.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I am
9
really
o'clock at night,
excited.
so I may be tired a bit.
That's cool. Yes, it's a little late for you. I think you're what,
Yeah.
3 hours ahead of us. Yeah. So sorry for the late
worries.
night for you, but much appreciated that you took the time. So
Yeah.
Kathy, you were saying?
I was saying I'm really excited to hear about this, about what's going on with Le Boat, because it's something that I really, really want to give a try. And I think it's just a fantastic way to travel, especially when social distancing is a huge issue.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's been crazy busy.
I bet.
People just want to get out and just go somewhere. We've been stuck in our homes for so long, and this is a perfect opportunity for those who want to social distance, but also get out and be on the water and the scenery and the villages. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds perfect. Both Kathy and I have adult children, fairly adult, and I think it sounds like such a perfect, yes, depending on the day. I think it's the perfect product for families.
Yeah.
Of adult,
it's wonderful. Because the swimming here is amazing. The fishing, the kids have a ball with kayaking, and we have stand-up paddle boards. So there is lots for them to do. Honestly, people think that, they're going to be bored, but we have families that call us while they're on their vacation and be like, can you extend it for more nights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's great.
Well, Laurie, we'll get you to share your screen so you can share your presentation with us. And just so you know, we're running a little ahead of schedule, so please do not feel the need to rush. You have lots of time. You actually have more time than we had you scheduled for. So take your time, because I think this is going to be something that our clients will really enjoy hearing about. I know we are excited.
I've shortened it a bit, so we'll see how long it takes.
Sounds good.
So you want me to share it now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Do you see it?
Yeah, that's great. Okay, take it away.
We're all ready? Ready to go? Perfect. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining me and having me here. I am the sales manager for North America and Latin America for LeBoat, and I just want to welcome everyone and go through with what we offer. So basically, who is LeBoat? Well, we are the market leaders. We're #1 provider of boating holidays on the beautiful lakes and canals of Europe and now Canada. Canada has been introduced in 2018 on the Rideau Canal UNESCO World Heritage Site in Ontario, Canada. We have the world's largest fleet of canal houseboats and the widest choice of boating destinations to choose from. We are now over 50 years of boating excellence. We've been doing this for a very long time. And the one great thing about our product is no boating license or experience are needed. Not many of our new customers have driven a boat before. However, they quickly realize how easy it is and soon become confident navigating the waterways. Our base teams will show you everything you need to know. So what are the LeBoat holidays all about? Well, they allow cruisers to explore beautiful lakes, rivers, canals. You basically can do your own thing. You set your own pace, you choose your own itinerary, as long as you bring the boat back in time. So when I say no previous boating experience or boating license required, that means we will give you all the training that you require to drive our boats. When you check in at the base team will go through everything with you, how to read the chart maps, how to go through the locks. They'll take you out for a test drive. If you can drive a car, you can drive our boats. Renters, as I mentioned, are in complete control of their cruise itinerary. It's a very relaxing way of doing a trip. Booking of the boat, easy as 1, 2, 3. Choose a destination, boat type, start date, and duration. Our Europe season runs from March 14th to November 1st, and our Canada season runs from May 15th until the 12th of October.
Lori, I'm just going to interrupt you quickly. Can you change it to slideshow view so it's a bit bigger?
Oh goodness, how do I do that?
If not a huge.
Or maybe even if you go to the top, you'll see the enlarged screen view.
Okay.
That might do it. The top right.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. Optimize share for full screen video clip.
Yeah.
Is that it? Did that work?
No.
No, I think it's the top. On the top right, there's an X and then there's the 2 little screens you see right beside it. I think it's the 2 little screens. I think it just has to be set to full screen, but it may not work. That's okay.
That's fine.
Go ahead.
Okay. So who is the LeBoat customer? So basically it's for anybody. We have couples, family, group of friends. 50% of our clients have little or no boating experience. They are affluent and average age is 55 plus, well-traveled, looking for adventure, more independent holiday off the beaten path. They set their own schedule, soft adventure with bikes and kayaks. Here's our cruising regions. We offer regions in Europe. We have Germany, Italy, France, Belgium, Holland, England, Ireland, and Scotland. France is our biggest region with the Canal du Midi in the south of France, and as well as the wine regions in the Burgundy areas. Canada, our newest destination as of 2018, and as mentioned, the UNESCO World Heritage Rideau Canal. This is our first destination outside of Europe, and it's done very well. Since we started, we have increased our boats 4 at a time. So we started with 16, we're now up to 24. The Rideau Canal route runs from Ottawa to Kingston. We have a base in Smiths Falls as well as Sealy's Bay. As mentioned, Canada's boating season runs from this year is June 1st to October 12th. All our cruises this year are actually going to run from Smiths Falls return. Due to the COVID situation, we have decided not to open our Sealy's Bay base as it's a satellite base, and with the limited team this year, it was just too much to open, but for sure next year we are geared for those one-ways options. We are located a 40-minute drive from the Ottawa airport. Getting to Smiths Falls, you can do it by via rail, taxi, car rental, private shuttle. We're a 2.5-hour drive from Montreal Airport, 4 hours from the Toronto Airport, an hour drive from Kingston. So as you can see, you have a choice of where you'd like to go. From Smiths Falls, you can go up towards Ottawa, or you can go down into the more open waterways towards Jones Falls area. Our boats in Canada are the Horizon Fleet. These are our premier level boats. All these boats are brand new. They have a top deck barbecue grill, a bimini for shade. They have a lounge area. They have air cooling, and they accommodate 2 to 12 passengers. So with the 2 to 12, we have actually 5 different models. The first model is the Horizon 1 that has 2 cabins, 1 bathroom. The Horizon 2 is a 2 cabin, 2 bathroom. The 3 is a 3 cabin, 3 bathroom. And the 4 and 5, the same, 4 cabin, 4 bathroom, 5 cabin, 5 bathroom. Our Horizon 5 is our brand new boat as of last year. It's great for larger groups, and it's done very well. So what's included? You have the full boat, use of the boat for the duration. You have a fully equipped kitchen with your fridge, gas oven, stove, dishes, and utensils. You have bathroom facilities with hot showers and toilets. Towels and tea towels, pillows, duvet, and bed linen are also included. We give you cruising maps, a user manual, and tourist information, safety equipment, deck equipment, full briefing by the base staff, and a practice run before departure. The lock fees, as well as the moorings at all the Parks Canada locks, and the barbecue hot plate, top deck cushions, and a bimini. And we also have an extras list where you can rent bikes, you can order grocery packs, you can rent stand-up paddle boards, kayaks. We have a special occasion gift baskets and lanterns. So looking at the situation this year, we've had to change things a little bit with how we do things at the base. So we have new cleaning protocols, social distancing measures, and more to help prevent the spread of the virus. So what we ask is that guests must not travel to our bases if they are displaying coronavirus symptoms. Otherwise, they risk not being allowed on board their boats. If guests require medical assistance or advice during their cruise, they should call our base team who can assist. They can establish where guests are and will know the closest and most appropriate source of healthcare provision, such as local hospitals, walk-in clinics, or medical helplines. Base contact numbers, as well as a number for emergency services, will be provided on all our boats. So at the base, when you check in, our surfaces and high-use touch points in the reception will be regularly cleaned and disinfected throughout the day. The number of guests allowed in reception is limited to 1 per booking. There will be floor markings, which will help customers to observe the 2-meter social distancing guidelines. We have new signage in place to encourage social distancing and regular hand washing. Only card payments accepted and card transaction machines will be disinfected after each guest has used them. Hand sanitizer will be available in our reception area. Disinfecting floor mats to sanitize shoes and help prevent infection in reception areas. The reception areas will be disinfected at the end of every workday. Perspex screens will shield our customers and colleagues while at our reception desks. Toilets and showers at the bases will be closed. Customers should use their onboard facilities. With our boats, cleaners wearing personal protective equipment will thoroughly clean each boat, paying close attention to high-use areas such as steering and navigation controls, doors and handles, bathrooms and showers, as well as external seats, tables, and controls. They will then disinfect all inside surfaces, including floors, curtains, cushion, upholstery, and mattresses with disinfectant spray supplied by IPC, experts in the biotechnology, which kills all types of bacteria and viruses, including coronavirus. All onboard documents, navigation charts, manuals will be cleaned with disinfectant wipes between customers. Bed linen and towels are washed at high temperature and left inside your boat. We will leave beds unmade to reduce any further contact by our team. If any symptoms of the coronavirus are reported by a customer while on holiday, their boat will be deep cleaned and left for at least 72 hours before next use, in accordance with the government and industry guidelines. Our base team, base staff will not report for work if they display symptoms of coronavirus. Our base team will exercise social distance practices and will wear gloves and face masks wherever required. If local government advises, stipulates, or whenever social distancing measures are difficult to observe, such as during pre-departure briefings. Our base staff will welcome guests with a smile, but will not offer a handshake. We hope you will understand. Base staff will regularly wash their hands. And our procedures. To reduce the amount of time our guests spend in reception and in public areas, we are asking customers to carry out as many check-in requirements prior to their arrival as possible. This includes some must-do actions, as well as the opportunity to take part in a virtual area and navigation briefing. Guests will also receive a call from the base staff 48 to 72 hours prior to departure to confirm their arrival time and complete other check-in formalities. Arrival times of each booking will be staggered as much as possible to reduce the amount of guests on site at any one time. Our check-in process and our pre-departure briefings have been reviewed to limit the time our team spend in close proximity with our customers. So basically, we have introduced a lot of extra protocols for the coronavirus. Our team is doing quite well with this. We started our first departures on June 3rd, and it's been doing quite well. As mentioned, we have a great product, staycation product, so that it's great for the distancing factor. You can rent your own small little boat. If you have multiple families, you can rent a series of boats and still travel together. If you decide that you wanted to stay longer after your trip, you can also end your trip either in Ottawa, do a city tour there, Kingston, or Toronto. For 2021, we are booking already, and it's actually doing quite well. We are booking for the Europe and the Canada region. And just to let you know, with the specials that are on right now until September 2nd, we have the 20% off our budget and comfort class boats, 15% off comfort plus boats and the Vision fleet, and 10% off Horizons and Minuetto. Just to let you know that we have over 40 different models of boats and over 960 boats total. And to let you know, the standing offers, if you cruise longer than a week, you get an additional 10% savings. And if you do groups, which we do have quite a few that are doing that this year as well as next. So each boat gets the 10% discount if there's 2 boats, 12.5% discount if there's 3 boats, 15% for 4 boats, 17.5% for 5 boats, and 20% for 6 boats. And our current offer right now for the Rideau Canal, save up to 25% on 2020 cruises. So wanting to vacation closer to home, this is the great place to do it. So 25% off for departures in June, 10% for departures July to October, and that's for any duration. And our minimum rental is 3 nights, and you can go as long as you want. For attending this webinar, we have an additional savings special offer. Not only will you benefit from our current specials for being part of this event, you'll also receive an additional $200 savings on vacations 7 nights or longer, or an additional $100 savings on vacations of 3, 4, or 5 nights. This is our team. I'm the sales supervisor, and this is my sales agent, Maggie. And again, we'd like to thank you for having us join you tonight, and we look forward to seeing everyone.
It's awesome. Thank you so much, Lori. It looks like it would be a fantastic product to take families and to do something a little closer to home.
Mhm.
which is wonderful. Have you had the opportunity to go out on a boat yourself, on a boat?
I have. I've done quite a bit. I actually am not far from the Rideau Canal, so
Oh,
I
how
get out on
nice.
it a lot. Yes, and I've done actually over in Europe. I've done the Canal du Midi, the Aquitaine, and I've done Italy as well.
Wow, fantastic. And
Yeah.
did you do it on your own or with a family group?
The ones that I did on my own were here on the Rideau Canal. Over in Europe is training, so it was a lot of training, but it was wonderful, wonderful experience. I used to be a travel agent before this, and I never thought about houseboat rentals. And once I've done it, I'm like, wow, this is the way to travel. You're at your own pace, you do your own itinerary. There's so much to see and do. You're getting into little places that the bigger boats can't, and you're traveling with those like family or friends. It's great experience. And one of the things about the Rideau Canal here, like the swimming here, the villages, just the fishing, everything about it is wonderful.
Sounds spectacular. Well, thank you again for sharing with us.
Thank you.
And we look forward to having you back again and trying one of the beautiful boats at some point somewhere in the world.
That's great. Well, thank you so much and have a great evening.
You as well. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So I think at this point, we are actually running a little bit ahead of time. So we're going to sign off, and at 6:30, we will be signing back in, and we'll have the lovely Soren Prasad, who's going to be talking to us about independent touring, something a little bit different. And so I think we'll just sign off and say thanks for joining us for now. And if you're still free at 6:30, please sign back on to Facebook Live on Departures Travel, and we'll be back on.